I'm sitting here in Milford, Ohio, and the temperature is steadily dropping. It's going to be I think like 38 tonight. I don't know. But it's pretty sweet. I got this place to myself tonight. Got here like 3 hours ago or so, and not really much going on other than looks like a soccer game's kicking up in front of me here, as you can see here. So I kind of got blessed with this one. Peace and quiet, and permission to stay here for the night. So that's excellent. Should be unloading about 7:30-ish in the morning. Then headed somewhere else in Ohio to pick up a load, then off to Atlanta, Georgia. So yeah, this is going to start my series on YouTube. I've been driving for Stevens Transport for I think like August 3rd was my official start date. I finished up with my trainer in about 4 weeks or so, and yeah, I've got my own truck, and I'm actually done with qualifying for the Alliance program, which I'm going to do because there's plenty of money in it. A lot of people don't think that you can make money with a leasing program at a trucking industry, or trucking company rather, which could be true, but I think it all falls on the driver. I really don't think that leasing programs with legitimate trucking companies are designed to be a lose-lose situation, or at the very least lose-win situation, meaning the company is the only one really winning. The program at Stevens Transport, I'm very fond of it, and I've been doing a little bit of research on other companies such as like Prime Inc. and I think Night Transportation, and looking into their programs, and they all vary. They're all a little bit different. They're all set up just a little bit different, but in the end, their main goal is to give the driver an opportunity to not only make more money, but to learn the ins and outs of, I guess, basically being your own boss. So Stevens Transport, they have a huge support system and team and all the resources that you would need to succeed, you know. I'm very fond of Stevens Transport. I have no qualms, no issues with them whatsoever. Like, they've been great. You know, some of the best training you can possibly ask for, and then some. Just when you thought you were done training, they're going to come at you with just a little bit more, and you know, it's good though, because out here it's dangerous. You know, you're driving a very heavy, big hunk of metal, and it's basically like a missile going down the highway, and you need to know how to deal with it in all the situations. So yeah, you know, Stevens Transport, they are awesome. So yeah. I forgot what else I was going to talk about in this video. I don't know. I'm thinking about making some other videos about maybe my journey with the Alliance program, which I probably will be doing. And I'm going to try and set it up eventually to where I can maybe do some live streams, you know, like if I'm in some interesting places. You know, I'm probably not going to do a live stream of my travels and have the phone facing out the windshield, you know, if I'm in some just like mundane place. But this is actually a very, very nice place right here. See if I don't think I can really turn around the phone other than physically do it, but I don't have too much of a fancy phone. But yeah, I mean, you know, for a shipper and receiver location, like, this is nice. As you can see, I'm like the only one here. So that's cool. And have you seen those little green porta potties? Yeah. See, I got everything I need. Sitting here chilling. got a cooler full of food, filled it up this morning. So yeah, Stevens Transport. It's an excellent choice if you're just getting into the trucking industry. I think you got to start somewhere, and why not go to a place that will train you thoroughly, like thoroughly, and make sure you get it. Why not go to a place that makes sure that you're going to be safe out here on the road? That's the way I look at it. My journey started in July. I actually came to the end of a semi-long journey with the Navy. Actually, I was never in the Navy, but I was in the process of trying to get into the Navy. I started the process like mid-February of 2018, and I wanted to be in the air crew, like an airman. I thought that would be really cool to kind of travel around the world and be hands-on with aircraft and stuff. So I took the ASVAB. I scored like 85, I think, or something like that, and I qualified for the job, and I got all the necessary documents that I needed to give my recruiter. But what held me back was back in 2002, when I was going into my sophomore year of high school, I broke my wrist like pretty bad. I was rollerblading down a hill in a neighborhood I lived in Tallahassee, and I was using my friend's rollerblades, and they were speed skates, and I'd never used anything like that before. And of course, those don't have brakes. You have to know how to stop yourself on those, and I didn't. So I was flying down this hill, and a turn was coming up, and I didn't know how to turn. I had to have been doing like 30 miles an hour, and I've never been going anywhere near that fast on rollerblades. So I ended up just like saying screw it, like I'm gonna slide into this guy's front yard, and I ended up doing that. And in the process, I'm rolling across the front yard, and then I just fall back, and I try to catch myself right on the ground, and I hit the ground like that, right? And I don't know if you guys can see it. Maybe. Got a scar here. I had some surgery done, and I had a pin put in it to keep it in place. At first, where's that watch? Whatever. At first, the cast wouldn't hold it, so they had to put a pin in it. They had to re-break the fracture. I almost punched the doctor. It was so painful. He didn't even think to give me any sort of pain meds. So he stopped doing that immediately. But I had surgery done. They had a pin put in it temporarily. It was halfway sticking out, right? And then they wrapped a cast around it. They did all this like while I was put under and having surgery done. And so like 2 or 3 months later, I had the cast taken off, and everything was good to go. And they took some like vice grips, pliers or whatever, and pulled the pin out like right in front of me. It was the weirdest sensation ever. Like I can't even describe it. But where I'm getting at with this is the medical documents that I retrieved for the Navy never stated that I had the pin pulled out. So they wanted me to go all the way back to Tallahassee, Florida. And at the time, I was living in St. Augustine, and I didn't really have the time or the money to do that. They wanted me to go all the way back to TOC in Tallahassee, and I guess pay for another X-ray. So I'm like, I don't know. I guess I don't really want this that bad. I'm 31. At the time I was 30, and I was already kind of pushing it, but definitely doable to get into the Navy. Some jobs, probably not going to qualify, but so I'm like, all right, I had a plan B, and my plan B was to hit the road, be a trucker. So I'm like, all right, let's pull out plan B, and I get online and fire off some applications to several different companies, and the first one that gets back to me the next day is Stevens Transport. So I'm like, all right, this is a sign, like good communication. I'm already hearing from them. You know, that's what's up. So I talked to the recruiter, get everything set up for Tampa truck driving school. That's where I would have gone. No, I did go. That's where I would go. I guess I'm talking to past tense. You know what I mean. That's where I went. I went to Tampa truck driving school in July. I think it was July 9th or something like that. But they set everything up for you. You know, they paid for the school. Of course, you're going to pay it back, you know, over a period of time, like while you're driving. But it's a great deal, man. Like, they put you up in a hotel while you're there. And, you know, it's like 3 weeks at the school. It was the first week, you know, you're sitting in a classroom real early, you know, reading a book like that thick. Actually, it's more like that thick, you know. And what they're trying to do is prepare you for whenever you go take your CDL test down at the DMV. And they know what they're doing. And they kept telling everyone that had anything negative to say, it was just like, trust the system. Like, you know, we've got it. So the second week consisted finally of some hands-on training. We got out there and we learned how to do a straight back and offset backing, like the 45-degree angle backing or whatever. And no, it wasn't 45-degree angle, but it wasn't 40. Offset. If you don't know offset, just Google offset backing. It's like when you're in one lane and you pull up and you do a certain maneuver with the steering wheel and it brings you back into the lane next to you. I have yet to use it out here, honestly. Straight back I use all the time, pretty much every day. So then the third week, they teach you how to do alley docking or 90-degree angle backing, and that seems to be the most difficult part of being out here, is when you're in some tight spots. Like, I'm blessed right now to have all this space to get back here. This was a blindside backing. It would have been, but I ended up doing something really crazy and just pulling back out and backing in the proper way, I guess. I mean, no one was here, so it's like whatever. Like, I felt comfortable and I had all the time in the world. But 90-degree angle backing is pretty much what you'll do at most shippers and receivers, and if you're brave enough to stop at a truck stop after like 10 p.m., you know how that is. Veteran drivers, like, there's nobody, there's no spots. I mean, it's always packed. I always try to finish my day off early or just find a Walmart or like some other vacant parking lot, but yeah, hold on, I'll be right back. So anyways, yeah, I'm a Juul fan. I don't know if you guys vape out there. I don't know if this is really considered vaping, but I love this little guy. I do have a regular vape. It's a piece of junk smoke or smoke, alien, whatever, but it just bricked on me. So I'm back to this little trusty guy. But anyways, yeah, so after the third week, at the end of the third week, you'll take your driving test. Oh yeah, at the end of your first week, you'll go down the DMV and get your permit. Forgot to mention that. And at the end of the third week, you'll take a road test with a state examiner, and hopefully you pass. And if you pass, then they'll send all the information to the DMV, and the next day, or if it's early enough in a business day, you can go down that same day and pick up your CDL. And so yeah, I passed. I actually failed my first test. Like, when it came to the 90-degree angle backing or the alley docking, you only get 2 get out and looks, right? And I used one way too early. Like, I was way too nervous that day. I think I was like overthinking it, which I tend to do about everything. Which is really not that good. But yeah. So I failed it, and I took the test again like 4 days later, something like that. So yeah, and then I passed, and then about a week later, I went to the airport and flew to Dallas, and that's where I started my adventure. Orientation. Orientation. Mm. 3 days. Very, very, very long days. You start at like I think 6 in the morning, something like that, and some nights you didn't get back to the 5-star hotel until I think like 10:30. But those are very long days, man. Let me tell you what, like you're sitting in the classroom pretty much the whole day. They feed you. That's the good part. The food is, if you have a big void in your stomach and you're starving, you're gonna eat it, and it fills you up. There were times they fed us way too much, but I can't complain because I'm a foodie and I love to taste all the different kind of foods from different cooks, and this was really just like I feel like some souped up cafeteria food. No offense, Stevens. Hey, I have no problem with that. Like, I like souped up cafeteria food, okay? So, some people, they were just so disrespectful, but that's their problem. Anyways, after the 3 days, I got linked up with a trainer, very cool dude, Jamaican dude, spoke Jamaican half the time to his friends on the phone. I learned a lot. I learned some bad words in Jamaican, and yeah, I kind of learned the dialect a little bit, but I mostly learned about trucking with him because that's pretty much why I was out there with him, right? Yeah, good dude. He had a 2017 Kenworth T680. Oh yeah, that's another thing. It was automatic, and Stevens is pretty much phasing out most of their manual transmissions, and it was kind of a letdown for me. But also, it wasn't because, just coming out here for the first time, and being stuck in traffic or whatever. Like, I mean, as a beginner, I feel like you have a lot already to kind of deal with, to kind of be responsible for. Of course, a lot to remember, a lot to do, and I think trying to remember to put the truck in the proper gear, along with trying to maneuver it. I don't know. Maybe some people can do it, and I know I could do it too. But it's one less big hectic task to deal with. So I'm sitting in a 2016 Freightliner Cascadia. I think it's 2016, yeah. Evolution or whatever. It's got a 10-speed automatic, no, 12-speed automatic with a DD15 Detroit diesel. Yeah, I have no complaints in this truck. I think it's got like 244,000 miles on it. But that's another thing at Stevens is the equipment is tip top, and they maintain it pretty well. So yeah, I mean, this is my journey. This is I think I'm going into, well, no, I'm starting my 3rd week pretty much. Well, I'm in my 3rd week. I'm, I guess, mid 3rd week, but I'll be routed back to Dallas soon so I can go to the business classes. They teach you all about the Alliance program, and I'll either keep this truck or get a different truck. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna keep you all updated. That's for sure. I'll let you know how it goes. So, if you're thinking about going into trucking, or you really don't have anything else going on for you in life, or you want a change of scenery, change of pace, or you want out of the 9 to 5 grind per se, check out Stevens. Like, for real, Stevens is a great company. I know I said it probably a million times in this video, but I'm serious. Like, so far, like, all my paychecks have been legit. They've been accurate. They've been on time. Excuse me. And I have no complaints whatsoever thus far. We shall see, right? So, anyways, the Trucking Wanderer, over and out.